At night, when most of the people of the world around you are quieted down, no thoughts flying all over, crisscrossing the whole atmosphere, and you yourself also have no distraction and no work to do, and most of the time, at this time, your brain, your mind is a little bit tired, so it also doesn't want to disturb you. And like you sneak out of the mind and sit by yourself. And then you can receive more of the Master Power's blessing. Although daytime also have, but you are busy catching here and there, you don't catch enough of the Master Power. At night, it's better. But it's difficult, huh? Difficult to stay up all night and then go work in the daytime, huh? But everything is just a habit. Slowly, you get used to it. Trust me, the more you stay awake, the more spiritual points you have. Even just stay awake and think about meditation. Think that, I wanted to meditate, and you think all over the country, but still you're awake and meditate. In your heart, you want to. That also earns you a lot of merit. Just be awake at night. That's the time when most blessing coming. And if you're more awake, that means your soul is still here. Not gone away. It receives the blessing into the soul. If the soul is elsewhere, maybe in other worlds, or just not aware, then the blessing is less, because when you're asleep, the soul went out. Dear Master, sometimes I could meditate on the sound for an hour and a half, and sometimes I meditated only for 5 or 10 minutes. I felt that it was uncomfortable. I couldn't meditate on the sound anymore. I am often in that situation. When it's uncomfortable, then we try to endure it. After a while, it'll go away. And if you are unable to stand it, then just stand up and walk 2 or 3 steps. Just walk around for a few minutes, then go back to meditating and listening again. Because meditating on the sound is very powerful. Sometimes the Maya inside of us does not always want to get out. Perhaps the elements inside us are not altogether clean. Or at times, we are sick or infected, and not aware of it. Then we get frustrated. That is when the sound wants to push it out, which is difficult, so it'll be like that. When meditating on the light, I get really hot. Is that correct? No. It's no problem. If you feel that hot, then just drink a glass of cold water. Usually, there are many types of Maya in our body. Being sick is also considered as Maya. Maya means negative force. It is the elements which are not pure. Sometimes, when we contract an illness, or there is an intoxicant in our body, or in the food we eat, or we get intoxicates when walking outside, or others infect us. So during meditation, it's being forced out for us. It is not only that our mind becomes healthy, but our body is also cleansed. In some cases, when it is not forced out quick enough because there are too many intoxicants inside, we will feel such exhaustion. Okay, the more we waste, the heavier our karma is. Because people have to work extremely hard to grow it, or make it, with sweat and tears. If we waste too much, in excess of our blessed reward, we have to pay for that excess amount. For other people's karma, effort, and pain. When you sometimes eat very complicated or highly processed food, you don't feel good in your meditation that day. You don't have to wait until you've violated the precepts or eaten meat. Just by eating excessively processed food, or food requiring much preparatory work, we are also hindered. Because people are very tired from working, their grudging atmosphere goes into the food. Since ancient times, spiritual masters have advised us to live a simple life, as simple as possible. Of course, I'm not saying that you only need to eat brown rice seasoned with salt every day. What I mean is that, in every aspect, we must try to be as frugal and simple as possible. This is good for us, our country, and the whole world. You ask me how to avoid the ego. I advise you to do more sound meditation. We must do more sound meditation. Without it, we can never cleanse our myriad habits. Although I've instructed you to recite the holy names and meditate on the light, it's not effective if you don't practice sound meditation. This is so, because chanting the holy names and meditating on the light also add extra things, although these additives can control other things and make us forget worldly vexations. We can use these benevolent holy names to control our distracting thoughts and stop them from troubling us. It doesn't mean that they've vanished or been cleansed by chanting the holy names. Or Amitabha Buddha. No, we add tens of thousands of repetitions of the holy names every day to control the distracting thoughts. After that, we should use the sound meditation to erase them, including the holy names. The question is, before he got initiated, he was doing the convenient method for 2 years. But during his meditation, without his control, he was actually twirling like the whirling dervishes of Sufism. He's heard that the reason for this could have been the big difference between his vibration and your vibration, which was actually creating this. Is that true? It's not always true. The follow-up question is the energy which should be affecting his soul. Why is it so much affecting his body, his physical being? Sometimes the physical being has not been purified long enough because we are so used to the influence of the world. It's not only him. It's the place where he lives, the spiritual background, the belief that he had before he came, and maybe the food that he has been consuming. It's not that he wanted it, but he did not know. So even though with vegetarian for a long time, 3 months, 2 months, it has not completely purified the spiritual body of the body. Therefore, when the stronger energy comes into contact with our usual energy, it creates a little bit of the movement. But it's nothing to worry about. You just concentrate here, Master pointed to the wisdom center, and let the body do what it wants. Do not pay attention. Or maybe he was a dervish in the last life, and now he still gets used to it. Have fun. Exercise. The body exercises while your soul is enjoying. It doesn't matter. Don't pay attention to anything of the body. You must maintain your faith. Always think positively, then any situation will improve. Sometimes we encounter undesirable situations in some places, but because of the positive thinking of disciples, and by just explaining to them, then the situation will be improved. However, it is different if we send someone who is not courageous. The situation will get worse. Therefore, the most important thing is that you must practice well. Having practiced well and developed our inner power, we become fearless bodhisattvas. We accept reality, but we are not afraid. Besides, we see more clearly the cause of the situation. Otherwise, we are very upset. When the situation is bad, we would feel distressed and blame ourselves. The main thing is that our conscience must be stable, showing that we are doing the right thing. Don't mind about other things. Success and failure are not the chief objectives in this world. Look further, and you would see that failure is sometimes success, while success turns out to be failure. Who knows? It is more precise if we see with our wisdom eye, and from the view of a spiritual practitioner. Otherwise, we are oppressed by the situations in our whole lifetime. We live as if we are dead. We have no personal rights, no daring spirit, no courage. And we are not worthy of this human life. We don't have to fight with others to show our courage. We are courageous inside. We know what we are, and that is good enough. We know our conscience. No need to show our courage by debating or fighting with people. This is not what I mean. Internally, we should be optimistic and full of positive love so we could overpower the negative force. Otherwise, we are easily conquered by the negative force when we encounter it, because our positive power is inferior. Then our whole life is under oppression. Sometimes, we were born in a suppressed condition because God wants us to learn the fearless spirit and the lesson of courage. Should we give in to the situation, we will never learn our lesson. It is only bad for us. There is not much changes to the universe. As we are not entirely enlightened, we think we are doing harm to the universe or the world. Actually, He has arranged different things in different corners of the universe. There is not much that we can do. Therefore, it is not entirely our fault. If we can do better, the universe would always give us a chance so that we can change our interior and feel great. We feel comfortable. We understand our personality, our spirit. Having learned this lesson well, we don't have to come back anymore. There is no good or bad situation really. Just that we are not prepared, haven't learned our lesson well by using the situation. We cannot always give in to the situation. This world only oppresses and agonizes people. If we submit to it, we are lost and could never mature. Understand? Nonetheless, it is really hard to say. It could also be the mutual karma of sentient beings. So, it is hard to tell whether it is our fault or the mutual karma of sentient beings. Just make sure that we are conscientiously stable and know we are doing right. Each situation is different. I can't tell you what to do in each situation. Practice well and then our wisdom will develop. We will naturally know how to deal with each situation with a clear and understanding conscience. Successful or not, our conscience is peaceful, then we have attained the truth. Anyway, so after initiation try to meditate as much as you can. If you want to get above the water, then 2.5 hours, because we have 24 hours a day. It's 2.5 hours is more or less like it. You should do half an hour on the light so that you're ready, cleansed, to do the sound. And the sound, you do as much as you want. Up to 3 hours on the stretch, and then you do the light. Because most people, they just sit and do the light and then too comfortable and just sit there all day. Oh, Master, sorry. Oh, meditating. Yeah, like that. Should feel awake. Leave some ice water or something next to you. Sprinkle yourself. Communicate with the inner master power at all times. Don't mind the moon or the stars, they will automatically bless you. Don't pay attention to the outside physical things, because the master power is always with you. Sometimes the moon and stars are covered, depending on the season. But the master power is with you 24/7. We depend on that power, because it's the power of true self. It's not the power we borrow from others. Shakyamuni Buddha has the Buddha power, and we do, too. It's our original self. We have to dig the power out, develop it, and polish it, so we can use it. It's best to rely on this power. Because whether it's Master, Buddha power, or Christ power, it's one and the same, it's inside us. At initiation, it's awakened and revealed. So we can start to communicate with that great Master, that great universe. That's why it's most reliable. If the stars or moon or sun can bless us, all the better. Just a little bit of help from them is enough. Plus we eat some simple, nutritious food, and it's enough. Some people eat a lot, but they don't grow strong. They remain sickly. But eating one meal a day doesn't make you a Buddha, either. Otherwise those who starve to death could have become Buddhas. The reason we sleep a lot is because our soul is tired. He is fed up with the body. He just left. Or the same for when we die, yeah? Because the soul has found no use of the body, the vehicle, anymore, so he just left. It's very easy for him to find another one. So, for us, dying is a big deal. It's not at all. Dying is just like when you meditate and you went into samadhi and then come back. That's it. That's dying. It's no big deal. And it's even better, because at that time, we're free from the body. We can be anywhere in an instant, and we do anything we want. We have the full control of our power. At the moment, we have the body. And the body hinders a lot of our activities and thinking and enlightenment and progress. Just because of the body. Sometimes you want to meditate, the body is tired and you fell asleep. Sometimes you want to do this and that, and the body is tired, and then you fell to sleep. Sometimes you want to meditate more, and then you couldn't because your body is too tired. And everywhere we have to go in this world, we must take a bus or train or airplane, and it takes a lot of time. When we get rid of this body, we are free, very, very free. Anywhere you want to go, just think about it, you are there already. That's freedom. But during meditation, we are free somewhat. Don't worry, you are all Buddhas. Believe me, that's what I know. That's the only thing I know. But then what? You know. I cannot translate this to you. You have to find it yourself. We are all Buddha. It's just the mind that troubles. The brain is the one who causes trouble for us, who makes us do this, do that. Do all the things that we don't want to do. Drink coffee while we want to quit, smoke while we want to quit, or to do any other thing. This is only the brain. The brain sometimes cannot get the full message from the soul, because it's like a filter. Sometimes the filter is not very effective, and all the orders from the soul will become, like, distorted. So we do things wrong, we do things not in the right way. That's why we are frustrated with each other, because we cannot be like one. Without the body, without the mind, we understand each other perfectly. We don't need to speak at all. All the problems in this world come from the body and the mind, the brain. Your intuition knows what to do, but your brain interferes because of the habit, because of the experience you learned from the past time. Like, okay, if I do that, I will have trouble. But this time it's different. It just looks similar, but it is not. And your mind thinks, no, last time I did that, I have trouble. This time, I better not do it again, things like that. So, it's a lot of interference from the brain and makes us very frustrated. And the husband and wife don't get along well, friends fall out with each other. And the workers and boss cannot understand each other. All that is because of the brain, the filter. It doesn't translate our message correctly. But the one, the real one, the true one, ourself, the Buddha, is always correct. That's why we have to go back to the source anytime. Anytime you have a problem, try to meditate a little while on that. And then you'll feel better. You'll know the answer better. You know what? If we don't have to have anything to do with the brain, we get on fine. For example, sometimes if you just go out and play together and have fun, you find that you have less problem. But if you have to cooperate and work together with somebody, that's when problems begin. You think that way, he thinks that way, and you want him to say this way. But he didn't understand and do that way. And that's how things are, whatever, whatever. So we love each other because of the soul inside, because we're the same source. Otherwise, if we keep relying on the brain, we never can make a friend or can never marry anybody, because it's all brain. It's all different experience and we all react differently. Because of our background, the brain information gives different direction. That's all. That's why nobody is really bad, nobody is really good. It's just the brain. We are all good inside. So now, after we are more intelligent, we should listen to more our wisdom than the brain, and we have less problem. Anyhow, this is just theory. But you feel better anyway, right? After meditation? After all these years? Definitely, no. Yeah, I guess so. Because I do feel better. The only time I don't feel good is when I am with you. No, I'm kidding, with these guys, whoever. When we work together, that's when things go wrong. Very difficult to understand each other. Most of the time we meditate while we're asleep, because in the daytime, how much time do you give me? None. An hour, and then you sleep through 3/4 of it. So that's why I've told you to meditate before you go to sleep. Then you go to bed and meditate a little more. And you slowly go to sleep in that meditative mood, and all night is meditation. That's the time when you have the most. Yes. You go to higher places and do the most amazing things during your sleep time, when you don't have any interference from the mind. You're just all at peace, and Master can take you anywhere and teach you anything. That's why you progress so quickly even though you meditate so lousily at any time. I don't mean that. You do well. But we meditate very little compared to the progress that we make, because during sleep Master takes us around and teaches us many things. All of the verbal lessons or lectures I give you are just a very small part of it, 30% of my teaching, and 70% you learn through silence, through meditation, through your sleep. While you sleep, you'll be taken up to a higher school, and then study there. That's why even though you sit in meditation and you don't see much, sometimes your wisdom still increases 10-fold, 20-fold, 100-fold. Your love and kindness, your level in every aspect rises up. It is because of the teaching in silence. That's why I tell you go to group meditation. Because here you have the truest friends. Then if you have problems, or maybe sometimes you make mistakes because of many friends, they can talk to you, and they love you, encourage you. You will come back again to the correct direction. Having group meditation is just like having an unconditional good friend, or a good beloved. And we all grow together. We share together some problems and happiness. This is very good for the human psyche, even not talking about spiritual practice. So you see why we have to practice now. Or why we must go to group meditation, because we are weak. Sometimes we go alone, and if someone tempts us, we will fall. But if we go as 2, 3 or 4 persons together, and if we want to be tempted, our friends say, no, no. It's no good for you. Come back. That's why we must have friends to practice together. In this life, everything is like that, even with politics. If a man wants to be president, he must collect a lot of followers who have the same ideal as he has and who support him. Everyone knows that. Otherwise, do you think one person alone could create a particular movement? Or could one person alone change the whole of a country? There must be a lot of people to support. So, when we blame one person, we have to think more. It is a shared ideal. It is a responsibility of a lot of people, not only 1 or 2 men. So it's the same with every ideal, the same with every goal we reach for. We must have supporting friends in order to go the same way. So when we fall, when we are weak, our friends will help us or carry us. So we must have friends. That's why we must have group fellow practitioners to encourage each other, because this is like a big family. When you come in and you meditate together, you also share the spiritual energy together. Not only the mundane problems. And then everyone just connected together. The stronger ones help the weaker ones, and then we have less weaknesses. Then we can come together at the same level. Everyone is happy. You are cleansed and you become happier and happier, and you feel lighter and lighter every day. How can the sound purify us? SM, just like water can cleanse your body. The sound can purify the spirit. Q is purity, also a vibrational frequency? SM, yes. It kind of filters the negative influences that sometimes enter your being. Your magnetic field through contact with the world, or contaminated situations, or that you inherited from the situation, or environment, or kind of a past life leftover. It filters that out just like a filter, or like water cleanses the body. Invisibly, our minds are contaminated by bad thoughts, by negative thinking. And if you continue using the sound at a higher vibration, it will eliminate the lower vibration, just like some electronic work. This is metaphysical, but it does cleanse. That's why you become better and better. It doesn't matter how, as long as you're cleansed, it's fine. Because we can't explain everything with worldly languages, but as long as the result is there. You know it's like that. We have to know inside, not with languages. We feel better and better, purer and purer, simpler and simpler every day. The proof is that you don't want any more fame. You don't want to be famous or have money, or you don't really feel attached to worldly, material comforts anymore. You do have it, and you do know how to take care of yourself. But it doesn't bind you like before. This is the way the sound cleanses us and makes us feel more and more pure and liberated. Q. What can I do to calm down my mind to meditate well? SM. We all have this trouble, don't we? We all have, so you are not alone. That's why we have to meditate every day, and not just one day after initiation. The mind has been trouble for a long time. Since the day of our birth. It has been recording all kinds of nonsense. And it has been in the habit of receiving and broadcasting all kinds of stupid events or ideas from anybody, from any scenery. So it's doing that all the time. It's just like a radio transmitter. So when you meditate, you just ignore it and do your job, recite the holy names, and concentrate on your wisdom center. And think of noble ideas. Or if that doesn't help, you listen to some of the soothing music that you like, maybe Master's music, maybe Master lecture, or anything that calms you. Any good things. Like maybe sometimes classical music, depending on what you are used to calm your mind. I do not mind what you listen to as long as it helps you to calm your mind. But it has to help you to calm your mind. And it has to be good, noble, elevating kind of music or lyrics, okay? And you try that. Leave the recording in the background, music or lecture. Whatever in the background, not in the back of your ground, like very low volume, or put it in your ear with the earplug, with your phone. Then you can listen to those while you are meditating. Softly, softly. That probably will help you in the beginning or whenever you need it. Cute. Sometimes when I am meditating on the light, I get like an energy surge. And it just sort of rocks me one way and the other, various different ways. What is this? SM. It's okay. Sometimes the negative and the positive are trying to battle with each other. As we are not yet so completely stable and 100% pure, it's like that. Later, it will become stable. Don't worry. Don't have to go with the feeling. Or just let it go. That's why we have to keep ourselves pure with precepts and all kinds of things so that we can receive this kind of pure and tremendously strong energy. Try to take care that your food, speech, actions and thoughts are pure. The problem will become even better or disappear altogether. Sometimes, if you are trembling too much, sit on the floor. Don't sit too high in case you fall down. Laughter, I'm not kidding. Or, try to sit on a wooden board, wooden floor. It'll absorb some of the energy for you. Then you won't feel so badly shaken. Sometimes when you do the Kuan Yin, it feels like a burning sensation. It feels like you can't bear it anymore. Then you sit in another place. You don't sit on a cushion. Find a wooden, cool floor to sit on. Put your feet on a wooden board or maybe on the earth. It will neutralize some of the strong effect of the vibration while you're not able to withstand it. Only in that case. But continue to meditate on the sound. The sound is particularly strong. If you are not pure, sometimes you have had contact with people, not necessarily our own karma. So, don't blame yourself all the time for whatever happens. Sometimes we contact with people, and their impurity and their karma also affect us. Sometimes we eat food that we don't know is impure. It also happens. So whatever leads you to this, meditate more. If you sit on cushion and you don't feel comfortable, it could be it is too heated for you. Sit on a wooden floor or on the naked earth soil. Put up your feet and meditate, or sit on the floor. With tatami mat is alright. It is more airy, more cool for you. Because sometimes the cushion we sit on, it's made with plastic foam, and it doesn't absorb the heat. It gives us trouble, irritating, especially when you do the Kuan Yin. Try to change the position, maybe change the place, or change the sitting cushion, then it will be better for you. So many things in this world, apart from the meat, the alcohol, the drugs, cigarettes. We are attacked from all sides. Even the chemical you use to clean your house. Clean the toilet or wash your hands, or the cream you put on your face, and even sometimes the food we eat, they mix with all kinds of stuff, or GMO, genetically modified organism, even, terrible. And they spray chemical fertilizer and all that stuff. I wonder how we still alive. Apart from eating meat, there are many other things we don't want to eat. But we take into our body by chance or by not knowing or by just having no other choices. It's terrible. I feel so sorry for the humans' lot. I mean, we are just like victims here. We are victims of all kinds of things, from all sides. And atomic fallout and missile testing, all kinds of chemical plants. And even the cars, transportation, the food we eat. They put pesticide in all kinds of stuff. Oh my God, even the newspaper that we read, sometimes you read it, you feel your eyes smart, and you feel the breathing is not smooth as usual. Even those printing materials, sometimes they affect your body, they give you kidney failure and liver problem, cancer, all kinds of things even. Imagine, So I don't know what kind of world we are living in. So if you are still sitting here looking at me, and I am still sitting here looking at you, we count our blessings that we are lucky already. My God, the more you find out about what's around you, or what's in this world, the more you feel like, oh my God, how am I still alive here? Oh, terrible. Never mind, never mind. Just continue to practice, and do what we can. We have a home to go back to, right? At least. I am so sorry for you. Many kids are like that, too. Now, that's why sometimes they don't eat too much. But they get also very big because of chemicals that make their thyroid stop working or malfunction, or interfere with the liver system or whatever. And make them just become bigger and bigger and they can't even stop. Not because they eat a lot. It's not true that people who are fat are eating a lot. It's not true. Some people are very skinny. They eat 3, 4 times as much and never to get anywhere. Always stay like this. And some people, chubby a little, try to go on diet even, but they can't even help themselves. It's not about the diet. Of course there are some, of course, because of diet, but some are not. We just don't win in this world. So, meditate, meditate. You know already, right? Nowhere else to go, no refuge. Q. It would make things a lot easier for me if I could actually enjoy meditating, which I really don't. I do it because I know I have to. SM. Who force you? Nobody forces you to. Then don't do it. Q. I want to do it, but it is really hard for me to do it. It seems too long, and it seems like I can't concentrate. And when the time is up, I'm ready to get up. I'm really not enjoying it. And I just see everybody does. SM. Oh, I don't know. You ask them why. Why do they enjoy so much? Feel closer to God, maybe a little force still, huh? Do you have anyone to meditate with you at home? Yes, yes. I tell you what, then maybe don't meditate. It's not an obligation. If you don't enjoy it, take a vacation from God. Just say, oh, I take off for 1 month. How about that? And then, still don't work. So what do you do? Sit there and thinking or what? You think too much. Maybe. Okay, sit there. If you are tired, lay down. And sit back again later. Just enjoy it as a rest, okay? Just like a rest. Don't think it's work. Because, for example, if all day long you work, you are tired. No. So the time of meditation is really precious. It's your time. This is my time. I sit there and refill my tank. So the time of meditation is really a time you refill your own tank. You don't think whether you have result or success. Just sit there and relax. Relax and rest. That's all you do. And if you couldn't meditate much, you could read a little book from the spiritual books for a while until you are ready to meditate. Or listen to some tapes that you like to, for a while until you're ready. Then you close your eyes. You listen and sit there at the same time. You see, because sometimes you probably also need to listen to something, and you don't have time to concentrate on what you are listening. Or, maybe music even, soothing music, classical music. Just leave it in the background, and listen to it. Some people, they do that as a relaxation, and you do that also as relaxation. So you can have a break of everyday routine to make you feel better the next time. After that, don't think it's working. It's for you to enjoy. You listen to music and just close your eyes. Repeat the 5 names now and then. You see, it's not hard. Don't force yourself. Listen to music, read a little book, listen to tapes. Any of your favorite, and then close your eyes. Repeat the 5 names at the same time. Because we can do many things at once together. So you just think it is a time for you to enjoy whatever you select, okay? And meditation is just together. Sometimes I go to the movies and meditate there. Can you imagine? Yeah, I say, whatever is going on there. Because sometimes the movie, I know already, or I am bored at the movies. Just sit there and meditate there. And they do their job, and I do my job. My mind thinks that I'm going to the movies, and he is happy. Yes, so no problem. Take it easy. You select what you like for that time. Maybe today I want to sit, just think of God, think of all the beautiful saints of the past, or think of Master. Think of whatever beautiful things that you had the whole day, or the past. And start with that. Remember beautiful things and thank God for what you have had, and what you are having, and what you will have, and start with that. And then just let it go. It's time for you to rest and think of what you want to think, do what you want to do, listen to what you like to listen. Just like sometimes people drive a car and listen to a tape at the same time. It's okay. Alright, if you take a long nap at noon, or in the afternoon. It's the time when a lot of people are feeling upset. The whole world is upset. When you sleep, you have no resistance. That kind of energy will attack you. Therefore, if you're sleepy, and you can endure it, try not to fall asleep at that time. Try to meditate instead of sleeping. After meditating, if you're still tired, you can sleep then. That way, you won't be overwhelmed and attacked by that kind of energy. It's the same for everyone, not just you. Sometimes when you're tired and you fall asleep, you'll be attacked by the energy of the world. That's why you feel scared or empty. Meditate right away and you'll feel better. Otherwise, do something else. If you can't meditate at that time, go out and do something to cheer yourself up. Go eat your favorite food. Don't be too strict and too serious. Eat your favorite food or chat with your best friend. Or talk to your trusted fellow initiates. Or watch Master's videos if you can. To cheer yourself up. I don't know why it happens. I just feel upset when I wake up. I know. Don't sleep. For example, if you always take a nap at room, and you feel bad afterwards, it means it's better not to sleep at that time. Meditate instead. If you still feel tired after meditating, sleep for a while. At least you have protection at that time. Meditation is not the sitting cross-legged. It is sitting just to be still, but it's the connection every day that we must have. Just like every day we must earn some money to live. Every day we must breathe. Every day we must do something to nourish the body. Every day we must meditate to get nourishment for the soul. We have to be connected to heaven, to our divine selves. Otherwise we'll be burdened, we'll be lost in this world, we'll be overwhelmed by the negative power, by the heavy atmosphere of this world, and then we cannot go home again. Meditate more to erase bad traces and bad hindrances. Serve others in the name of God all the time, selflessly. And then bit by bit we will be more clear. Is it necessary to pray before doing the meditation? Yes, we can, but it's not necessary. Meditation is the deepest prayer through which you get anything you want. Anything that is good for your spiritual and physical well-being will automatically come your way whether you pray or don't pray for it. That's why the life of a Kuan Yin practitioner is full of contentment and satisfaction. He wants nothing. The more he practices, the less he wants. The more he practices, the less he prays. Seek you first the kingdom of God, and all the things shall be added unto you. How long must one meditate to reach enlightenment? Enlightenment comes immediately. As soon as you sit down with the Master and sincerely want it, it comes immediately. Even sometimes before initiation. Sometimes I have not finished the instruction, and people already got enlightenment. Some people are in a hurry, they have no time to wait. But the meditation takes place daily, because we always want to be in the enlightened state. And we always want to renew our acknowledgement of enlightenment. Or also we want to strengthen it, to expand until infinity. Otherwise, even if you meditate for 100 years, you don't get any enlightenment. Meditation doesn't bring enlightenment, because during initiation, or during so-called meditation in our method, you do not meditate, because meditation means effort. But in our way, it's effortless. You might sit there, sometimes even sleepy, and then enlightenment even comes, even then. Or you will be enlightened during sleep, because the Master Power will wake your soul during your sleep. While your mind is asleep, your body is at rest, your soul will be awakened into the world of light and wisdom. Therefore, meditation is not a means to enlightenment, but for lack of vocabulary in this world, we have to call it meditation. Actually, you just sit there and receiving the grace of God and acknowledging your own supreme power. There's no meditation actually that is involved. Because anything that is earned or it is a result of some kinds of action, it is still the worldly production. It's still within the material framework. Therefore, our meditation is a non-meditational meditation, effortless meditation. I feel many kinds of emotions in different of situations. For example, happiness and sorrow, love and hatred, jealousy and frustration, pressure, etc. Sometimes I feel I am growing through these experiences, but sometimes I think I cannot endure anymore. I don't know that what kind of viewpoint I should have in these situations. I understand. It is because you practice more and your energy is more purified. And so you feel that pressure a little more than before. You're more sensitive to whatever different or chaotic energy of the world outside. So the more you feel frustrated, the more you should meditate in order to bear all this pressure and frustration. That's the only solution. So more meditation is the only solution, Master? Yes, more meditation. So you'll be stronger and stronger than the pressure. I'm very sympathetic with you. I know how you feel. I really do understand this. And that's why I teach you this method to go against all this troubles and all this bad energy around you. And you're going to overcome it. You're stronger than the pressure. It's just at the moment. It seems so, but the more pressure, the more you'll be stronger and stronger every day. You face it. You don't worry about it. You face it. You take care of the problems, one by one. We have a lot of beings in the air. It's scientifically proven. The air is full of beings. Virus, bacteria, good ones, bad ones. Insects, invisible ones. I mean very, very small, so you cannot see them with your eyes. But the air is not empty, so we're full of beings all over. We are not the only ones that inhabit this, how to say, so-called space in front of us or around us. So a cat is just one of those beings. It doesn't matter really, in my opinion. But if you, because they're attached, that's all. And then you tend to think of them, and sometimes it's difficult for you to concentrate. If you have anybody at all, any being at all, you feel attached to it, father, mother, sister, brother, cat, dog, mouse, anything. Your attention is more divided. That's why if you don't need it, then you have the less the better for you. But sometimes animals, they keep you company. But when you meditate, maybe it's better not to keep animals near it because sometimes they want to go out, sometimes they want to use toilet, and sometimes they just see a mouse and they jump. And then it jerks you awake. That's all. Okay, so you keep them in the next room. After meditation, you can do anything you want with them. But if they are quiet, and you like to keep them on your lap, it's okay. But you never know with animals. They sometimes see some invisible things and they jump around, and it will, like, startle you. Wake you up from your samadhi so suddenly. Yes, there was a story about a monk. He had a cat, and whenever he meditated, he chased the cat out of his room, beat him out of the room. Because he was an enlightened master, also. But then his disciple, after he died, after the master died, and the cat's still alive. And every time the disciple, the one who stayed behind, one disciple, every time he meditated he also chased the cat out, even though the cat never liked him, and never came near. So you have to be flexible. The master chased the cat out because the cat loved the master, and it hung around all the time. That's his cat. So when he wanted to meditate, of course he chased the cat out so he'd be more peaceful. But the disciple had nothing to do with the cat, and he just beat the hell out of the cat whenever he wanted to meditate. Because he thinks it's a ritual. Yeah, we're blind like that concerning religious leftover dogma. Try to do more Kuan Yin. It's very good for everything, even for illness. We don't really want to use it to cure illness, but what I mean is whatever imbalance in our body, it's because we don't have enough light, we don't have enough supply of light. Through the light and the sound, we have more supply again. Because we are doing things in the world, and our body kind of runs out, and the soul just doesn't want to stay in it. And then we become depleted of light, of the soul. So, if we have more light, then the soul comes back. That's why we are sick and all that. Not balanced enough. The soul doesn't go very far. Sometimes just leaves for a while. You still function, and you think you have a soul in your body. No, the soul left. Just like when you sleep. You're still there, but the soul went away. Sometimes the soul is next to you or on top of your head, or went a little bit further. If you neglect the body too much, the soul doesn't feel like helping you. Because it's a sign that you want to die. Like if you smoke and drink and all that, that's a sign that you don't want to live. So the soul tries to find a way to be away from you, from the body. Not immediately dead, but separate. At the time of initiation, the soul is free. So he can always detach from your body anytime. That's why when you meditate sometimes you're so deep, the soul has gone too far. The body doesn't hear. The soul is free. You're a free soul now. Just try not to make bad karma so that the body and the mind don't suffer in this world too much. That's because of the imbalance of the physical way of life. Not because the soul is imprisoned, no free. That 2.5 hours that you invest every day, this will work for a long time. For thousands of years, because the time you enter eternity during your meditation, time stops. It's not only 2.5 hours. It's thousands of years, eons of evolution, of development. You enter a different time and space zone. Like this you're recharged and you come back renewed. So you don't have to keep coming back another lifetime to be renewed, or to be yourself. Because for every one of us to be born, the purpose is to learn to know yourself again. That's all. If we don't do it this lifetime, we have to do it next lifetime, and the next and the next. So if we have time now, 2.5 hours, we do it every day. That means already we are doing it for millions of years. Each 2.5 hours you put in. Do not think it's only 2.5 hours and do not think it's too much. Each minute you put in represents a lifetime. Because in eternity there's no such thing as 2.5 hours. Or 1 minute. It's always eternity. We're only counting time, because when we're trapped in time, then we know it's time. Once we're out of the time, there's no time. The time for meditation is very precious. It's your hundreds of eons of evolution squeezed together. Just like a concentrated chip for the computer. Just a little chip like this contains thousands. Sometimes even millions of bits of information. So, it's not the size. It's not the time. It's not the number that we are accustomed to. The time of meditation is a completely different time. Different space. So, the more you enter into this timeless, spaceless space, the better it is for you. The more you know yourself, the more you are free. Some people work at night and sleep during the day. Depending on your situation, you should meditate after waking up. If you can't get up at 7 o'clock, then get up at 9. But you should still meditate, at least for a little while. Otherwise, our minds will not be stable, and we will view good as bad and vice versa. We will easily be contaminated by other people's karma and be pulled down. Our level will drop quickly, or it will be hard to progress, even if it doesn't drop. We will not be able to have a cheerful mood, and anything we do will not go very smoothly. If someone offends us, we will not be able to forgive him, and we cannot think about anything clearly. So, meditation is very important.